Hello and welcome to SpeakEasy. It's May 2026 and it's a glorious sunny day outside here. So I really appreciate you guys not disappearing off to enjoy it and hopping on the Zoom to do some poetry. Oh, you're off. You realized it's sunny, John. Okay. Okay. This is the last one before we have our summer break. And then we pick up again in September. There's the Unity Festival happening at Telly House on Saturday, the 6th of June. That's a full day of free events. There'll be the opportunity to read some poems on the themes of unity and community and all sorts of things. I know there's things happening at Lanercost later in June as well, which also have a similar theme of community. And there's all sorts of shenanigans. We've got the last in-person speakeasy on Wednesday at the Source, again before the summer break. And then there'll be the pop-up bookshop happening at Talking Town, the 31st of July to the 6th of August, and there'll be details online and all sorts of things. So there we are. That's the spiel. That's the notice board for now. Okay. This first piece, I'm in a production of Under Milk Wood, which is taking place in less than a month's time, the 15th to the 20th of June at the Green Room in Carlisle. And we were having a discussion at one of our rehearsals about what is the female form of actor. Is actress still a term that is viable, or is it just actor and actor? And I was thinking, yeah, but have people done the research as to whether all those words need to be changed? I mean, would girls want to? Do they dream of being a female prince, or would they have dreams of being a princess? I don't know. So then I had a list of all those words, and then I thought I can't just list a load of words. So I made a little story out of it, and this is what I came up with. And it's called "The Story of the Actress and the Princess," and it goes like this: She was a humble actress, for some a contradiction in terms. She had dreams of being a princess. She wouldn't settle to be a duchess. It wasn't her fate to be a countess, and never considered herself a baroness. The prince was cheeky like an imp, and she knew how to impress. He held a grand party. It was only natural how she acted as hostess. She knew what to do and praised him like a priestess. It got his attention. That flirty little temptress drew his eye away from the heiress, who was left talking to the mayoress. She told tales and she blew smoke, so many thought a terrible joke on the kingdom was being played. He thought she was a goddess. She wanted more than getting laid, and wouldn't settle to just be a mistress. It was a fairy tale wedding, when all said and told, one for the ages, the stories of old, riding around in a carriage of gold. She got in, under his skin, poisoning his mind. It all went wrong for the little empress. The crown prince was blinded by her majesty, and wasn't paying attention to what he was doing. So the kingdom went to rack and ruin. But that's the price you paid. Guess the dragon needed to be slayed. Sometimes suck, sometimes success. After the divorce, they're now just X and XS. And that's it. Oh, thanks, guys.
Brilliant.
Very good.
Oh, cheers. Thank you.
I was reading, for some reason, an Ogden Nash poem. And he did the same thing. I can't remember what it was called. But there was a particular word that he had to get another word that always rhymed to this word. And it was like, oh, right, okay. Some of them were a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
Well, but I should have said to begin.
Well, I hadn't realised that in Victorian times, or certainly maybe even earlier than that, if a lady reached a certain age, she stopped being called Miss and was called Mistress. And that Mrs. is actually a curtailment, a shortening of mistress. And it was only latterly that we started having this thing about Miss and Mrs. and Miss being a spinster and all this sort of thing. It didn't really happen. I'm not
Mm,
sure at what age, but probably round about the age that the debutantes came out. So what was that, 18 or something? Or was it
mm.
21? 21, I think. But anyway,
Hmm.
Wow.
I love that film.
Oh, thanks very much. And it just came out of my head. All sorts of strange things. It's usually a midnight sort of poem where things are just swirling around, you know. So there we are. Okay.
But you're right. It's the same as in cricket. They now don't have batsmen. You've got batters.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, where's
You've
it
still
gone?
got a short leg, though.
Didn't know it
Oh,
was
we're
showing.
recording. Oh, no.
It's not the worst thing you've said this week. Okay, John, you're next. What have you got to say? What have you got to say for yourself?
So somebody introduced me to this guy, James Reeves. And I'm not completely into the collection, but he wrote this poem in 1964, which is about poetry itself. And it's an advert for Spicer's instant poetry. On sale everywhere. Spicer's instant poetry. Trial size, 2 shillings. Epic pack, 19 and sixpence. A balanced mixture of cliches, catchwords, symbols, non sequiturs, ambiguities, stock phrases and borrowings from the best models, warranted free from superfluous emotion, bad rhymes, and obvious plagiarism. Simply add lukewarm milk and water. A child could use it. 1 teaspoonful constitutes a sonnet. This infallible preparation makes poems suitable for competitions, national and international festivals, private greetings cards, and autograph albums. Results guaranteed and are to be seen in the best literary journals. Spicer's instant poetry comes in 7 popular flavors: nature, including animals, childhood, domestic troubles, industry and politics, thwarted love, mythology and religion, and foreign parts. There is a special kit that contains all of the above varieties. Free surprise item and coloured art portrait of a leading bard also included. Or we have our tartan special for Scottish subjects. 5 shillings only, post free, extra strong mix for homosexual or surgical pieces. Delighted user writes, instant poetry is a joy forever, indistinguishable from the real thing. Order now and astonish your friends. Big cash opportunities, immortality assured, or your money back. James Reeves.
Yeah.
Very good, John. You read that brilliantly. He's a good salesman, isn't he, George?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
wait a minute. Wait, people are texting me. I've got orders coming in. Oh, hold on.
Yeah. Excellent.
Cool. Follow that, George.
I'm not sure. Well, I definitely know I can't. I was going. I just finished typing this out about 20 minutes ago. It was a thing from Cinnamon, which was Camely by Candlelight. So this is a tend. I've been going more and more with. I suppose it's not quite experimental, but it's kind of stream of consciousness type stuff. So we'll see. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and that's why it's quite good to only you enjoy Phil. So here we go. I slaughter a lamb. There is wailing in the streets, or is it only in my head? Do I dream of riots and rationing, I try to sleep so time can create, as if I wanted another head, and found those ghosts who have abandoned me never died or lied, but loved and disappointed in equal measure. When I weigh myself in the morning, cheering every vanquished pound, I cannot work in metric. I have congratulations muttered from a past life tighten my belt. Do I value each pound as highly as my empty wallet? Listen, Granny, I eke out mince casseroles by adding lentils. In my head, I'm living there so much, as age teaches me how little in those black misted years I knew, and if I knew I little understood. So now I am crowded by idiots who seem to believe lies and myths and tales as easily as I deluded me. In my head again I quote, "The dog returns to his vomit." Spring opens me, an autopsy removing entrails. Is this an awful truth? Certainly, I want to scream, bloody fingers girdling in liver, kidneys, small intestine, divining the future as I toss them over a shoulder. Pavarotti sings Nessun Dorma. I agree, this is awful. A bit of me wants a biblical plague, an asteroid wipeout. Comfort is in my head as I crouch in the gates of death. When streets run with blood of my disgust, I believe that blind in the past, lost in the present, I will see tomorrow the metamorphosis when a contrite God asks another generation to sail off in their reconstituted plastic crafts and manufactured coffee tables, lamps, a bowl of fruit from ancient wooden desks.
Wow. Yeah, that was phenomenal.
You wrote that 20 minutes ago.
No, I typed out 20 minutes ago, John.
Okay,
There's
I was
an
going to
hour,
say,
50
wow.
minutes of writing of Camley by candlelight. So I wrote that in about 45 minutes or something like that, John. It's from prompts, which was something like an Anne Carson poem, which was aftermath of a breakup. But the prompt for opening was supposed to be spring opens like a blade. And that was sort of my attempt. I tend to go slightly aside, I suppose, but they're kind of surreal, I think, in some ways.
Kind
But
of.
I think it's the way well, sorry, it's the way my brain works, where you're sort of pulling threads in from all sorts of places. But at the end of it, I'm so disappointed in the way the world's going just now that I kind of, I now can't believe anything I see on anything. I now find I'm watching news and thinking,
Hmm.
well, we're not hearing about anything else, you know?
What was the line about sort of running with the blood of my distress or something? That was amazing. What was that?
When streets run with blood of my disgust.
Disgust. Well, yeah. Wow.
I crouch in the gates of death when streets run with blood of my disgust. So we'll see. But the interesting thing is that you've always got, I always try to find a title, and my title, I suddenly thought of making sacrifices to the gods.
Hmm.
And that thing about divination, and we laugh at it. And now thinking the folk that used to look at chicken entrails and foretell the future maybe are no dafter than we are.
Mm.
Well, you'd have to ask the chickens about that.
Well, they voted for it. That isn't such a joke anymore, is it? When you say turkeys
Hmm.
don't vote for Christmas, yes, they bloody well do. So, sorry. Oh,
No, it's all right. It's just you can say what you want here.
yeah, but you're recording it, Phil.
I am. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. Right. Well, we've gone around the.
Sorry, George. Just a question: when you're writing that, do you actually record it? As are you physically
No,
writing it,
that is
or are
when
you
I am
speaking
actually.
it?
No, that's when I write. I have done other ones, as Phil unfortunately knows to his cost. So there's 8 hours of telephone recording somewhere, or 9 hours of me speaking into a phone. But no, this is one where I'm writing it. It's a physical thing on paper.
Mm. Do you find, because it flows so fast and, ideas are tumbling over themselves, does the act of writing actually slow you down
A little
compared
bit.
to speaking it?
A little bit, but I've become, as I say, sometimes I want to actually write a structure. I do actually want the poem to have constraints of something like a sonnet or villanelle or something like that. And I've kind of decided that maybe at some early stage. I want a rhyme scheme. But sometimes if I'm going with flow of consciousness type stuff, I think it's the more often you do it, the better you are at it. But I try to take filters off. I try to not think, oh, sorry, I'm now qualifying myself. As you're writing this stream of consciousness, you're thinking the next bit, but you're also trying to think of something which will carry the reader along
Mm.
and hopefully down the same roads that you're going down. But and that's why I'm saying it's kind of experimental. Because do I dream of riots and rationing? It's just my thought about today, about the way things are. And I try to sleep so time can create. I'm not sure what I want it to
Yeah.
create, but I don't want it to
Yeah.
create what's here now. So there is it's free, but it's not totally free. Does that make any sense,
Mm-hmm.
John?
Absolutely. And when you've done that, how much editing do you do once you've actually poured it out?
None.
None.
Oh, sorry. Very, very little. There was another biblical page, another asteroid wipeout. But when I look at it on the page, the line length is wrong.
Mm.
Right.
But broadly, no. Try not to. I try not to edit.
Mm.
But then I'm just a lazy soul, John.
And no, we'll call it genius, won't we, John?
Genius. I was thinking, yeah, genius.
Yeah.
What's a genius? There must be a genius look. I can't think what it is.
Cool, 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 cool. Well, we've managed to get round the three of us really quickly in 37 minutes. So we've got a couple more minutes before we have to sign back in. Just use the same login. I think with having to recite so many lines written by Dylan Thomas, there's some of his influence seems to be creeping into some of the stuff I've been scribbling down lately. And also, weirdly, there's sort of this carries on from what you were saying, George, as well. This is a piece called Shaping the Narrative. We think in stories. Storylines are the framework through which life is rationalized. Headlines and news stories govern, but who is shaping the narrative? Life is a series of lessons, teaching us our own familiar parables. I hear the story of my daily routine, the route I took to be here, from where I came and my people before me. History is his and her story, inscribed forever, at least as long as the texts survive in the libraries of the world and labyrinth of our minds. What's the story? What's your story? Song and verse, there's a novel idea. Tweets and posts, all are stories told to promote one view or another. Who is shaping the narrative? I am a story, you are a story told in the folds of your skin or hidden in the double helix of your ever-present past. What's the story you choose to tell the world? What's the story in Balamory? What's the story on file, recorded by registers of births and deaths, your medical records, credit card sales, the products you purchase leave a trail? What are the tales told of you and about you? Your own myths and legends. Do we shape our own narrative? What is real? What is fiction? What is embellished? And what is true to the core? Who is shaping the narrative? Does an editor neaten our story when we are finished, celebrate the highlights, dip into the collected works, before the slate is wiped clean for the next chapter to begin. There you are, shaping the narrative.
Yeah.
In the at the beginning of that, there was definitely I could hear a bit of Dylan Thomas
It's with
rhythms in at the beginning.
With reciting all these poems and stuff from the play, it's sunk in, and there's all these words with R's and very strong sort of. We have to roll our R's and stuff in the play, so that's starting to come through with this sort of punchy kind of rhythm. It's an infuriating script.
So when did you write that one, Phil?
Yesterday.
Oh wow! Okay.
Last night, about midnight.
Yeah. It's kind of what I say to other people sometimes. I think it's a bit like cricketers and golfers, muscle memory.
Mm.
More you use your brain to write poetry.
Dylan Thomas and Under Milkwood, when I was doing my MA, I chose to do part of the, when you have to do projects and essays and all that kind of stuff. I chose to do one around Under Milkwood, based on how Under Milkwood had been done through different medias. So, in other words, the written word. What about if you're just reading it to yourself? On radio, of course. What about on radio? On the stage and the movies.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like trying to contrast how did it come across in the different medias, and which were the better and why. So yeah, what was it? 10,000 words.
Very
of
good.
erudite evaluation.
I can imagine it was, John. Yeah.
To begin at the beginning.
Yeah, I'm not doing that part.
Oh. But you could. You've got the voice.
Well, I could do it. Begin the beginning.
Oh.
Yes.
But I think there's something fundamental, which is that the poet has been totally truthful. I think that's the fundamental thing. At least that's what I hope is the fundamental thing. As truthful as a poet can be.
Well, I think the poet has a way of distilling things down to their core, don't they? And it's there's a truth in there.
Yeah, sometimes it's not their truth, of course, but they do see something. But I mean, it's a bit like that thing where everyone thinks that if you write something in the first person, it must be about you. So even if you're writing as a tree or a bridge or something like that, somehow or other, it's you.
That's right. Yeah, people come along and say, "I didn't know you shed your leaves in winter, John."
I did.
Explains a lot.
Those leaves you leave all over the room.
Did you know that? I mean, Dylan Thomas never finished it because he wasn't a finisher.
Well, he meant
so
to
when it was
it.
first published in the magazine, he was making edits to the thing all the way up to it going to the press. And when he was doing it for the radio, he was doing edits and changes before he actually did, as he was almost doing the broadcast. So, yeah, goodness knows. I mean,
not as bad as
what would he have done?
Not as bad as Douglas Adams trying to do the first version of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where they had to lock him in the room with the typewriter, and the actors are standing around in the studio waiting for the ink to dry on the pages of the script. Yeah, but I only wrote that last night because I knew this was happening. Thought I better have some more poems.
Yeah, but I can't remember who it was now, but there's someone doing the complete works of somebody, and they said to him, "Which version are you using?" And he said, "Well, that's a real problem because he would change it for different magazines and different publications and at
We
different
would.
times. So is complete work the first version of what he did, or is it the last version of what he did, or is it the person he seemed to like best because he repeat? What is the version?
Yeah.
And there was also demands on them, when they were asking to publish it in the magazine, it was like, we want this many words. So it was like funny, strange constraints.
And then
But
one of the
yeah,
first.
I wonder if he'd have lived. I wonder what the final. Maybe he'd still be working on it.
It would be about
Maybe that's the truth.
6 hours long or something.
Yeah, yeah.
It's mercifully short, which is lucky for us. But yeah, I mean, it's quite.
It would have been nationalised.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting that one of the first performances was that recording in New York. And all these New York actors trying to get their heads around this strange town in Wales. I just find that amusing. They should all have had like New Jersey accents, like Kung Fu Panda.
They probably just assumed it was another Brigadoon with little Scottish fairies dancing about in kilts and playing strange bagpipe tunes.
Oh, we're gonna begin at the beginning, capiche?
It was Kung Fu Penguin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
where do you think we should begin?
I don't know. Where do you want to begin? How about the east side?
Beginning, man. Yeah.
This is going to become the most followed podcast that you've ever.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, John, come on. We're back with you. What have you got for us?
This is the only other one I've got to read out. So it's a community. David Bamford, my friend David, is doing something with the Echo at Lanercost, and he's collecting poems on the subject of community. And he asked us, didn't he, at the group, please send me some. So I wrote this for him. It's called Once Upon a Time. Once upon a time, the back door was always open. The front was seldom used. I remember the regular, irregular parade of neighbourly footsteps coming our way. Marie, I've run out of sugar. Have you got a cup full to spare? Have you got an egg? I just need the one. And I remember the doorstep trades, salt for sugar, eggs for flour. And if the trade was not completed immediately, then a debt was chalked indelibly on an invisible blackboard that everybody kept. Debts could be paid off in kind, looking after the kids for an hour or so to allow parents some precious adult time, or fetching something back from the shops, or doing some sewing or loaning a ladder. Not everything went smoothly, though, and if they didn't, sharp words gave short shrift to anyone who misbehaved, failing to observe the unwritten rules that everybody knew from birth. The loss of ability to access the mutual help was a severe penalty, never mind the risk of a tarnished reputation. More than half a century on, I still have many unpaid debts against my name. But how do you put a value on a community that shared, or a community that cared? Or do you even have to? There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That was the way of it, Phil. You're far too young. But I remember when I was in short trousers. By the way, over the next few days, I'm probably going to be back in short trousers. But I remember when I was in short trousers, that's what happened. All the mums would be going back door to back door if you didn't have this, could I have this? How about that?
Mm.
And the sharing was just natural. It was
Mm.
natural.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I still remember my mother saying to me at some stage when I was beginning going roam, you just roam the streets on your own, you know. And she said, you do know if you're ever in trouble, just walk up to the nearest door, knock on it, and tell the lady that you need help.
Mm.
And they assume, I don't know if she said tell and say you need help. She just assumed there'd be somebody in. But she also assumed that anywhere in the area, you could just go, but also anywhere in the area probably knew who you were because they'd seen you around.
Mm.
And in fact, if you did anything, I used to say, news of what I'd been doing get back home quicker than I could.
Yeah, yeah.
I
The
would walk up the
telegraph.
path.
I don't
Yeah,
know how they did it, but the
maybe over the,
telegraph between the
ah,
mums was like lightning.
but maybe over the back. I mean, all we lived in little blocks, but there was all the gardens met at the back, all the drying
Yeah.
greens that went out. So I'm guessing that folk could shoot across grind.
There must
You,
have been a semaphore or something,
Mhm.
or pigeons.
Or, sheets on the washing line and how
Yeah,
many there are is a signal. It's a
but they,
code.
they always knew before you got home what you'd
oh,
been up to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Okay, George, what
Well,
you
I've
got
been
for us?
struggling about what to do, but I'll do this one. Western Hospital cardiac ward. He is so old, so withered. I tell myself he is frail. Yet statistics haunt me still, those buried facts that I dug deeper. I pile leaf mould and vegetable peelings, say this is rot and nothing to worry. In weeks we will spread this on roses, watch them grow and burst into flower. Tonight I lie thinking of the letter not to be opened until I am dead. Wonder if I wrote that simple, I love you. Too late, if it is unsaid. Why do I remember that blackbird chick, skin naked, who spread those bone-thin arms to the crow, squawked defiance at the fatal blow, carried off to feed another brood? He is old. That recalcitrant leg slips out. I will sleep now and believe in tomorrows.
Wow, George. Powerful
Oh,
stuff
blimey.
there.
Yeah. Tell us some more about that one. Where did that come from?
Well, that's just a memory. I was in the Western Hospital waiting for the cardiac operation the next day. That thing where you go into the toilet to shave your own chest. The girl gives you a razor and said, "We need to shave half your chest." So you go and shave your. But there was a guy brought in an elderly Chinese gentleman, gentleman of Chinese. No, I think he actually was Chinese because the family came in at one point and I think they spoke to him certainly in a different language. It might have been Vietnamese or something like that, but anyway. But he was old and it looked as though he'd lost power in one leg. And I kept thinking this man's maybe had a stroke.
Mm.
And I'm trying to
Hmm.
dismiss the idea in my head that he's had a stroke because it wasn't so much that I'd die that bothered me, it was that I'd survive but be damaged.
Hmm.
But anyway, so it's a kind of that thing about leaf mold, and I thought it's the way your brain works. You jump in and out of present and future and past and all that. So that was what it was trying to do. But there was also a thing I did write one of the hardest letters I've ever written, which was to write to my wife and write on it to be opened if I don't make it. And then you suddenly think, God, did I say I love you? Don't think I did. I think I told you a lot of other stupid stuff I didn't say.
Did they ask you to do that, or was that your idea that
Oh, I
you'd do
did that
that?
myself when I was going. I mean, the chances of survival were pretty high. It was about, I think the chances of dying were only something like 3%. But then they say die is 3%, stroke is 5%. Is that 5% including the 3% that you die? 5%, and then something else is 7%, and you're sort of going, wait, to add them all together, does that mean I'm 15% that something might happen, but 5% it might have a stroke and 3% I might die, you know. So you try to dismiss all these things. So anyway, that was it, John.
Don't ask him anything else. Yeah.
And you don't want to clarify it too much because
No.
you were sitting there and you're thinking, well, I don't want her to actually be thinking that it's 10, 15%, you know.
They tell you all that, so you're thinking about the numbers while they do the operation, so you're distracted.
Even better, mind you, was by the time he talked about all this about me, then said my name and it wasn't my name.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, and he said, oh, I've got the wrong patient. Sorry. That's someone that's coming in later. Didn't realise. Sorry about that. And then he said, mind you, everything I've just told you still applies. He looked at my notes and said, everything still applies, so you're okay.
Yeah, we are taking your leg off. Yeah.
Yeah. We better put that back on.
Yeesh.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a long
So
time.
talking about accents and where people are from, you know, and the strong accents and picking up where they're from their accents. Janet and I were on a bus going from Portobello into the centre of Edinburgh. And my dad was born in Lossiemouth, so we used to go to Edinburgh quite a lot. And we were sitting on top of the bus, and there was these two chaps in front of us, and they were chatting away. And Janet turned to me and she said, gee whiz, she said, this Edinburgh accent is strong. And I said, it certainly is. They're talking Polish.
Oh, brilliant.
And they were.
Yeah. You've just reminded me, I loved being down the local supermarket and there was a Polish lady behind the till and they're swapping, there's one or two Poles round about and we're talking, and this lady got to obviously was quite was quite annoyed and said, oh, so where are you from then? And she looked at him and said, Govan.
Yeah.
I thought, brilliant reply. Brilliant reply.
Yeah, brilliant.
All righty then. Well, we've taken another spin around the poetry room. Do you want a little story, George?
Yep. Yes.
Oh yes.
George is Kung Fu Penguin's biggest fan, so these
Pull the curtain a bit.
Yeah, you got some sunshine coming in over the
shoulder
there. So yeah. Oh. Okay, this is the final installment of Series 4 of.
Oh wow! I'm privileged.
Yeah.
Oh, let me put it on mute. I want to digest this.
Yeah. Well, I'll put it on mute as well. I don't know when you were last on the call, John. It's got very strange this last set of adventures. But we'll just pick it up from where we left off and see how it goes. But it's weird because real life seems to be mimicking some of the Kung Fu Penguin's adventures recently. With we had that weird conversation with Barack Obama saying aliens were real, but he hadn't seen them. And then Trump was asked about it and said that Barack Obama had taken that information out of classified information. And it's like, oh, that wasn't the normal line. And then he posted on Truth Social that he was going to get departments to release information about UFOs and all sorts of things, and they've actually done 2 data releases, one 2 weeks ago and one today, apparently. Loads of videos of UFOs and bits and pieces. Anyway, and then Steven Spielberg has a film coming out in a couple of weeks' time called Disclosure Day, and it's like, I got to get in there before Spielberg. So this is Kung Fu Penguin, Series 4, Episode 7. Kung Fu Penguin and friends find their hearing before the Governmental Oversight Department Committee disrupted by a strange beam of light after a circular hole appears in the roof of the Capitol building. Congressman Timbersheet, The panel, President B.A. Boone, and the audience watching the live broadcast all peer up at the strange, swirling, blue, shimmering light that fills the hole in the ceiling. Please bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. Does anybody know what's going on? There appears to be a portal swirling in the ceiling. Suddenly, a small, feathery figure with large golden eyes and big black pupils fluttered down into the room and landed on Kung Fu Penguin in a cloud of feathers. The pair sat up. Kung Fu Penguin hopped onto his chair as the interloper found a perch. The detective grumbled. Why can't you just use a door like a normal person?
What? What kind of entrance would that be? Boing! It's me! Guess I'm a little late, huh?
We're fortunate you could be here, ma'am. Would you mind stating your name and occupation for the record?
Miss Fortune. Alaska, my fortune. Cross my palm with silver, and I tell you your future, huh? I'm a medium.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say a perfect 10, maybe a 12. What are you doing after the hearing? Are you looking for a twit to woo?
I don't think I'm your type. I'm a wise old owl, not some little chick, huh?
Before the president could contest this, Kung Fu Penguin snapped back at her. Last time we saw you, you were wanted for being an illegal alien. You ran out of the lab at PISH. That's the Piccolo Institute for Science of the Strange. And then you got abducted by a flying saucer. It broke the interweb. I'm not complaining. It was my highest ever viewed episode, Davinia Brush cried.
I come from a long way away.
Mexico. Not Mexico. I told them to build a wall. A great big wall.
I'm from further away than that, you Philistine. I live among you for a little time, a long time, like so many other ones of us. I take this form so I blend in, no? Let's say I'm from another place, 10 light years away. It's not unlike here, but we're cleverer than you are. But we're worried about you and your constant wars, weapons. Now you go into space? You destroy your own world, and you want to go to other planets? I don't think you'll be very welcome.
Dr. Flapjack shook his head. Excuse me, but I don't think that's possible. How could you get here from 10 light years away? That kind of technology is just impossible.
You got no idea of real physics. Your science is so basic. It's a joke. You can't even harness what you call the 0-point energy. Far less fold space-time or create a window into parallel realms and dimensions to access almost instantaneous travel.
Do you have some kind of a message for us?
Sure. We're very disappointed in you. Especially after all we did for you.
I'm sorry. I'm not quite sure I follow, ma'am.
Sheesh. Okay. Well, I think it's reached that point where you're old enough to know. You're all the product of a little science experiment we were running. About 4 billion years in the works now. We created religion and belief systems as a way of keeping you all in line, which worked for a long time. Obviously, there is the one source who started the whole project, and we just pop by to carry out surveys now and again, give you a nudge in the right direction. But it got a little out of hand. There were factions who wanted to accelerate your development, and others didn't want to interfere. Some of us made deals with your leaders, which I'm sure you all know about, right?
A sea of blank faces stared back around the room.
Oh, I guess not. Well, isn't this awkward? You seem to have figured it all out. Non-human intelligence exists. The universe is teeming with life. Interdimensional travel is possible. The zero-point energy is an infinite, pollutionless energy resource. Extrasensory perception is real and helps fly the temporal spacecraft. And what else? Oh yeah, animals are sentient.
Despite the odd remarks, nobody in the chamber seemed surprised by this final statement.
That would sure make things awkward if you'd been rearing animals to slaughter just for food or something. You would never reach enlightenment that way. Anyway, gotta go. Remember, love is everything. Adios!
Suddenly, the beam of blue light shot down from the ceiling. Mrs. Fortune was whisked up into the air and disappeared into the shimmering beam before a loud whoosh signaled the departure of the metallic flying disc. The sky was now visible through the hole. I think it's all very compelling. So compelling. Very interesting. And I've been thinking. B.A. Boone, the president, probably the best president, the greatest ever. I'll release all the files relating to UFOs, aliens, and all this wacky stuff. That will secure my legacy and place in history forever. They'll make statues of the president who brought the truth to the people of the whole bigly big world, and forget all that dodgy stuff with any luck. Dr. Flapjack appeared to turn white as a sheet and fainted in his seat. Timber Sheet nodded. Well, thank you, Mr. President. We'll put all that on alien.gov webpage. On behalf of the committee, Miss Annie Pauline O'Leamer, Derek Fax Darlington, Doug Gannett, Bianca Ortega Azteca Cortez, BOAC, and myself, I want to thank all the witnesses, the whistleblowers, President B.A. Boone, and you, the public, for all the testimonies we've heard and for exposing the cover-up and misuse of state funds. Now I have some closing remarks I'd like to share. I'll just let Jane in now, because I know how much she loves Kung Fu Penguin. She'll really not want to miss this. So we'll build the tension. Well, we can fix all this in post. We can fix it all.
I can't see. I haven't got it.
Is that Whitson calling?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello. I'm
Hello.
so sorry to be late, Phil.
It's all right. You're heckling me digitally in the middle of Kung Fu Penguin. I know you don't want to miss it.
Oh, surely not. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Jane. Okay. We've just got to the bit where the chairman of the committee is going to do his little song to wrap everything up. So you can probably make a cup of tea.
Oh, thank God I didn't miss that.
I know. I knew you'd be disappointed. I said, didn't I? Didn't I say she'd be upset? All right. Hang on. I knew we could fix this in post. It's going to be great. So, yeah. Now we go to the song, because I'm still trying to pitch it as a musical to the West End folks. Okay, this is the song. Okay. What will the people say on this disclosure day? Will they scream and lose their minds? Or just shrug and say, well, it's about time? Maybe the file release might bring about a lasting peace. Can we rise above fighting wars and question what the killing's for? There's too much money selling weapons. Won't buy you a ticket to heaven's VIP lounge with champagne and caviar. If you sold your soul, then forever damned you are. What will the people say On this disclosure day, will they scream and lose their minds, or just shrug and say, well, it's about time? We gotta put aside the profit of a few to take this chance and make the world anew. The time of secrets and denial is coming to an end. Let's embrace our newfound cosmic friend. Can we kick that most destructive habit and save what's left of our precious planet? We must heed the lessons that they preach. A better future is just within our reach. What will the people say on this disclosure day? Will they scream and lose their minds, or just shrug and say, well, it's about time? And that's pretty much what happened. The news broke. It was a huge story for a few weeks. The insiders told their stories. There was a huge scandal about the lies told by the military and the dark forces trying to keep the secret secret. The men in suits from the audit department hit pay dirt. They had a field day holding the Pentagon to task for the misallocation of trillions of dollars. Members of the criminal collective were exposed and faced prosecution and were hauled before the courts. And the aerospace companies refused to confirm or deny the story, but even they were exposed and the craft were brought out to be seen live online. Quite the exclusive for the Dr. Bobcat Investigates podcast. And sure enough, people began to learn the truth with a little help from the likes of the Piccolo Institute for the Science of the Strange, Professor Brush, and Professor Schrodinger. But life went on pretty much as normal. Just now everybody knew that there's more to this existence than we first thought. The world religions continued, many of them claiming that the overarching force behind creation, be it God, Source, whatever name you have for it, also created beings of other worlds, realms, and dimensions. So it seems there really are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamt of in anyone's philosophy. And as for Kung Fu Penguin, well, safe to say, I went back to doing what I do best, working the mean streets and taking on the next job that comes my way. A private eye's gotta do what a private eye's gotta do. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, if you need a detective with a special set of skills, if you can find him, maybe you can hire Kung Fu Penguin. There's still time for the song. We haven't done the song for a while. You can join in. Oh, thank you, George. Thank you. Oh, yes. And it's your favourite bit, Jane, I know. Kung Fu Penguin, wah wah. 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 Wrongly put behind bars, wah wah. There weren't a whole lot to do, wah wah. Learned to align his chakras, wah wah. And taught himself Kung Fu, wah wah. Now he fights the bad guys, wah wah, 'cause they're not very nice, wah wah. Kung Fu's where his strength lies, wah wah, and he puts them on ice, wah wah. Do 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 do. Kung Fu Penguin, wah wah. 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 To him it's not a matter of black and white, it's simply the difference between wrong and right. He is working day and night, always got the villains in his sights. Kung Fu Penguin, wah wah. 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 Some call him cool, others say Sub-Zero, wah wah. This 3-foot feathered vigilante, wah wah. He's not like your average hero, wah wah. Don't eat caviar or drink a fine Chianti, wah wah. He's number one, he's the best, wah wah. He always puts the R's in, wah wah. You really don't wanna mess, wah wah, with a Kung Fu Penguin, wah wah. Do 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 do. Kung Fu Penguin, wah wah. Kung Fu Penguin, wah wah. Kung Fu Penguin, wah wah. Kung Fu Penguin. That's the Kung Fu bit everyone waits for. There you are. There we are. Will we ever hear from Kung Fu Penguin again? Who knows? There you are. Ah, and I didn't have an asthma attack. Even better. That's even
Very
clearer.
good, very good, very good.
Thank you, John.
I
Thank
love
you.
a happy ending.
Well, yes, me too. Bye bye, Kung Fu Penguin. Bye bye. Okay.
Temporarily.
We've got 5.5 minutes left on this part of the call. Do you have another poem for us, John? Because I know you said you had only
No,
two.
I have to drop off as well at the end of this, but I'd love to hear something from Jane if she's...
Okay. We could go to Jane next and then we'll pop back to George. Does that sound okay? Fantastic.
Thank you. And that was lovely. I just came at the right time.
The end.
Yeah, just as I was about to log on, one of my lovely daughters turned up, so I haven't seen her for a bit. So sorry, wasn't planned. Yeah, okay. This is two shortish ones. In fact, we'll do the short one first. Right. This poem's called God's Finger. I wrote it a very long time ago in the Canaries. La cathedral's spire lies shattered in the silhouette of Tady, its age the arithmetic of a giant sum. The calloused finger of Roque Chinchado beckons, collapsing slowly under its own arthritic weight. In the amphitheatro of Las Canadas, Caldera, ephemeral lakes reflect the turquoise hills, at times. The mountain plants are remembered dances distilled to flowers. Rosaillo, Bejerques, Malpica, Morelito. There's a cafe, of course. A pepper-haired woman sits astride a rock outside, shares ice cream with a child who surprised her middle age. A small canary blue settles near them, its contrary brick-red wings open like a book of spells held in one hand. In el lugar más estéril, una belleza exclusiva. In the most barren place, a unique beauty. That's the first one. And then the one called Volcano, a tourist guide. Rugs of heather carpet the hearth of Pico Viejo in the huge cold fireplace of Tady. Smudged paw prints of cloud dapple the caldera, the weather's stippled journey picked in soot. Moving, searing magma calms to this, a churned field on a well-kept farm, where part concealed, cracked and calloused toes point up. Yarrow de Varica, coiled to twisted rope called pajojo, and can be walked barefoot, tightly with the breath sucked in. Skirting the Lavas Negras there are razor rocks, or a'a, called tentatively, wincingly, sharp as a yelp, stacked like cinder toffee banked on a market stall. The tourists of Transportus Mary are avidly reading Latin and some admonitions from a notice board. Un testigo of one Bernardo Fallo in the last summer of his century, at the end of a decade of fever and eruptions, written urgently in prose slowed here to poetry. A continuous column of fire and huge stones by the hundreds were driven one against the other over a quarter of a league high. A pyramid of whirlwinds of thick black smoke, a continuous thunder-like roaring as far as could be heard. Explosions every 10 seconds, no less deafening than the sound of 20 mortars discharging at once, which caused the very foundations of that long mountain range to tremble. It seemed that the very ground they trod fled from them. The visitors look round, wondering if this is the last stop. They fret about their snacks left curling by the heaters. For their day trip to the Crucible, for their outing in the crater, they are wearing stout shoes and something warm. Columns of mushroom upwards, cloud cliffs part and loom. The long phlegm of lava flow runs out beneath their soles. The thicker is laid down first, and the finer is further away. That's it.
That was great. Really good.
Both written on Tenerife.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Many years ago. Yeah.
Fantastic. Wow.
I think, what did you say? It was something like the Paw Prints of Clouds.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just,
Smudged
you can
portrait.
just see that image. That's great.
Yeah, they do look. If you've got the right conditions, they do look like paw prints. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Thank you for letting me do that. Thank you.
No problem. I know Kung Fu Penguin's a hard act to follow, but I was waiting for one of your songs, but yeah, we'll take that. We've got less than a minute, so use the same login, and we'll go around.
I'll log off. So
I know you're
Lovely to see
good
you.
to see you guys.
Cheers,
Bye.
cheers, John. Yeah, and that was really, really good. We had Val on the call earlier, but she had some technical difficulties with her audio, so she had to drop off. And then I've had a message from Roz, who can't make it. She's got a cold, is feeling under the weather, but she has some news. She's got some news that the Cockermouth Live Festival is on the first weekend in July, and there's a session booked at Wordsworth House in Cockermouth for the Poets Out Loud group, 1:15 p.m. till 2:15 p.m. on Sunday the 5th of July. So that's pretty cool news.
It would be, but I'm actually singing up at the castle at that time.
You're singing in the castle as well?
I'm indeed singing in the castle.
Oh, well.
With the Shanty Girls.
Can you throw your voice?
I'd have to shout really loud, sing really loud. Actually, I will check that. Tell me those times again.
1:15 to 2:15.
Yeah, we're singing 12:30, 12 to 12:30, and we're singing again at 1:30 down in Christchurch with the choir. So I might be able to get there in between. I'll try.
Yeah. You might nip in to begin with, and then do a poem, and then have to dip out.
And then, yeah, I'll have a word with her. Yeah, I might be able to.
Sure, but that's breaking news. I've just got that information.
Thank you.
So there we go.
That was the 5th of July.
Yeah,
Sunday. 5th of July, did you say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sunday the 5th of July, yeah. I'm sure we'll be told about it because the CACM...
It's just unfortunate that... It's unfortunate. Yeah, it's unfortunate that Cumbria, unfortunately, doesn't have the greatest of public transport services.
Well, we'll get Tom Spake to come and pick you up, George, and ferry you around personally.
You should come and see us. Should come up and see us first. Come up to the castle and see us before you start. Yeah,
make a weekend of it.
Well, that's true. I could make a day of it. Actually, it's not that bad coming down by car nowadays. But I must admit, I kind of now prefer being able to jump in a train and let somebody else take this train, as the advert goes.
Yep, it's true.
Well, if you come through to Carlisle, I could pick you up and head out.
Yeah, okay, Phil. Yeah, no, sorry, I didn't mean that dismissively. I just meant that I'll think about it. Yeah,
probably
thanks,
have
Phil.
A car full. There'll probably be Dave Simmons and some others, so maybe Jeanette. Yeah. Anyway, we're back with you, George. Have you got a poem for us?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I've been looking out something. Right, I'll do this. I can't remember what this is from, but it's typed here in front of me. So let's do I Burns. Sorry, I as in AYE. I Burns. You've scalded me. There are ashes on my page. My pen is charcoal black, and I have not the talent to, in a few quick lines, capture a dancing cutty sark, a cooing mouse, or snow a moment white. Perhaps I am not scalded, but I'm scolded that I do not rate the embers discovering the glow of Muir, McCaig, Morgan, and that is just the M's. Is Burnside there to remind me many are the ranks of poets who laid their own fires? My mother taught me how to fashion sticks from yesterday's news, set coals in the grate, and strike a match.
Excellent. Oh, you're on fire, George. You're on fire. So was that?
That's in the Burns idiom rather than Burns.
It's not. It's because it was a pun in the name of Burns. Really, I was thinking that Burns burns, or or something
Yeah.
like that. But
Yeah.
it's one of my more or less surreal. At the moment, I'm into a bit of a surreal kind of thing. So that probably follows just the one metaphor through. But yes, yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember what it's from, to be honest. I've used it somewhere. But no, I was just thinking today, someone had put up a thing saying that none of the Scottish, the Welsh Parliament, there's a number of people who speak Welsh. And in the Scottish Parliament, there's no one that speaks Gaelic. And I thought, but this is just a myth. Well, from my point of view, it's a myth because Gaelic was spoken by a percentage of the population of Scotland. Aberdeenshire never spoke Gaelic, they spoke the Doric.
Mm.
Ayrshire spoke their version of Lalith. The Borders spoke things. Orkney and Shetland spoke Shetlandic and Orcadian. They didn't speak Gaelic, although their languages intermingle as all languages do. But this idea that there's no one speaks Gaelic in the Scottish Parliament, and that traditionally, I never spoke Gaelic. I've never spoken Gaelic in my life. There's part of my ancestry spoke Doric. But, so I think there's a kind of myth of language what's the word I want? A romance of the language.
There's a couple of folk songs that I sing from the islands. One is from Uist, and the other one is, I've forgotten. No, I've forgotten. There's another one, but both of them are in two totally different languages from two islands, totally different. They just sound complete.
Yeah.
They're very much their own language, and
I mean it's interesting.
Yeah.
And Jen, so I hadn't realised that Northern Welsh and Southern Welsh are two different languages.
Yeah.
We're nearly segueing back to Dylan Thomas.
So
again.
yeah, I mean, I'm all for languages not dying out. But equally, I think it's a kind of fallacy to then say to someone because I mean, McDermott wrote in Scots, but McDermott wrote in a created Scots that McDermott had, and he didn't like to. I mean, he didn't like Muir because he didn't think Muir was writing the way that he wanted him to write.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it depends on which place you're in West Cumbria, but they're all speaking a different language, that's for sure.
Say no more about that. Yes.
I mean, they might be as well saying that very few of the people in the Parliament speak Glaswegian.
Yeah. I mean, every region has its own little idiosyncrasies. Yeah,
that's true.
It's the same.
I gave up going to one of the local. Yeah,
it's the same in Spain. In the villages in Spain, there are subtle differences between the way they speak in the villages because they were cut off, and people developed their own way of speaking to each other. Yeah, everywhere probably. This is probably true everywhere.
I think so.
Yeah, I used to go down to the local tire place in Johnson, and I had to give up because the mechanic there would speak to me, and I had not a clue what he was speaking about. My ear couldn't pick up when, and he was so broad in what he said, and so fast, and also had a really strange pronunciation at times, that I used to just nod my head and smile and hope the puncture would be fitted when I came back.
Yeah. I do that now because I can't hear very well.
Oh yeah, it's like guessing, isn't it?
Guessing.
Well, there's that as well.
Guessing, yeah.
Okie dokie. Shall we do one more quick spin round, and then I'll let you get away back to your enjoying the start of your bank holiday weekends. Okay. Well, again, this is another poem from with doing the rehearsals for this Dylan Thomas play. the lines and the words and the rhythm and stuff seems to be working its way into me head. Hopefully in time for opening night on the 15th of June. But anyway,
Close, isn't it?
it's pretty close. Yeah, we only started our rehearsals about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and the director seems to be incredibly confident that all the lines will be learned. And we were all there sort of going, how many weeks? What, it's only 4, 5 weeks. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah. I also had a birthday with a 0 in it, which always makes me worry and contemplate and think about time and nonsense like that. So this is a piece called 3-act play, and yeah. Are we all a beginning and a middle and an end? Is fate truly our only friend? We roll God's dice as the great game begins, as a spark of delight flickers in our eyes. We start with a bang, crash, and a flash of the infinite starter's gun, beating astronomical probabilities, unaware of the significance in a cosmic collision. Chemicals smash, binding together. Prometheus's spark triggers the reaction. Life takes hold. Youth and aging, a story to be told. Missteps, mistakes, give and spurn. Question, wonder, dream of affection. Lessons, scars and tearful wounds. Life is a patchwork, frayed at the edges. We make our beginning and strive to a middle and think not of our end. We tuck fate safe away, instead find time for our friends. Make something of the threads, those cosmic strings of our lives, knitting our tapestries rich with memory, darning with nostalgia. Our ticket takes us on a non-stop tour, sliding through our station, mind the gap, before tumbling into twilight. God's dice roll their last, beady snake eyes stare you down, your final number's up. The reaper is the last with whom you must contend. The final stands slip silent through the timer on the shelf. Accept that fate is truly your only friend, and we are all a beginning and a middle and an end. There you are. That's 3-act play.
I really like it, Phil.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yes. The ones with the noughts in are not so good, are they?
I know, this was 100.
Oh, I thought it was me.
No.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Well, I was rounding up to the nearest 100.
Yes. Yeah. You find you talk about age a lot more as you get older, and worry a lot more about everything. Well, I liked what you said about starting out as well. You know, the sort of the hope and surprise and the loveliness of it all as you're first growing. I've just had quite recently, over recent months, had a new grandchild, which at my age is fantastic to have a baby in the family again, and he's just a glow. You know, he's just this lovely, receptive, lovely child, and you think of the world he's in, you know, and when reality is going to hit sometime. I know it all happens very, very gradually, thank goodness. I've watched my other grandchildren go through that, you know, sort of understanding the world that they're in, but it does seem sort of sad, doesn't it?
Yeah. But there is a sort of, it's something I've been thinking about recently, I suppose, as I've got older. But there's that thing that when you're young, you accept the world the way it is.
Yeah.
It's just the world that you're in. And I think it's probably as we get older that we're beginning to think of not the world necessarily the way it was, but the way that we thought it might be. And it's not.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's really not. No, I think it shows how little we could influence things as well.
Yeah.
Having sort of grown up in the 60s and 70s, you know, where it was a time of great hope, and the world is nothing like we envisioned.
Yeah, well, it's strange. I mean, when I think that my parents lived through, well, were born more or less at the time of the First World War, lived through the Second World War, and lost friends and relatives to war, and sometimes and lived through the Depression. And I then realised no wonder their attitude to things in some ways was so different. That I didn't understand most of it. Still don't, to be honest.
No, it all seems very remote.
So, Jane, do you have a...
Phil, you were only 30, were you not?
Ha ha ha! You're my friend.
I haven't thought about what's coming next. I'll have a quick look. I've got poems, as you well know.
Oh, one or two.
Let me have a look.
It's all right. George has bombarded me with poems as well.
Oh, good. I don't feel so bad then. I don't. Yeah, I'll do the voices till 7. I don't think I've done that for a bit.
I tell you, Jane, George has got a really good idea of doing about 8 different volumes of his poems.
Has he really?
He's not trying to put it all in one massive block.
No, it's just it's interesting because other poets I've talked to said definitely have 1 volume. Definitely 1 volume. Don't be going with the. I think it was 9. You said I should do. Well, I haven't got time for 9.
You have. It's 1 poem is 9 volumes. I'm not saying they're long, but you know.
I've been reading quite short ones, and this is another short one. So rude, so harsh. Voices till 7, and this goes back, I think, to what we were saying about language and how it affects you. Yeah. The sound I liked as a girl on my own was a silvery rasp off next door's rusted fire escape, proud of a hanging door space high in the blue bruisey brick. These were the witch stairs, the languid ham and la-di-da of radio sounds lifting from the kitchen sill. I climbed up England over time. Now my Solway girls gang yang from school, their sibilant rivalry rising lispingly as the last speck of sun is settling in and something's curling on the trouble. Out on the marsh, a throstle's cradle nestles, and though the sign to town is down, it's still Barry spot. Those gorgeous horses. Towards the lurking gangs of them, the children crane and thrust their finger points, cry, "Our reet" in greeting to a sudden friend, in answer to their Hursty Fettle and Hursty Dern lass, Hursty Jan. I put my finger to the southern lips of my mother's BBC that pursed the Midlands out of me, and hushed my father's Worcester burr that rolled up like the Severn bore and sought me with their vapid kiss. Wherever I am is out of place, and whenever I speak, I miss.
That's a lovely piece, and you shared it before, but it's really that sense of how there's an identity in language, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely, and in accent. It wasn't until I was probably married to John, many over 40 years ago now, but that he told me that I had a school accent. And the friends I had from school all had the same accent. We all sounded the same. And there's something rootless about that. You know, that we have an institutional language and accent. And my father didn't, my mother didn't. My children definitely don't, and their children don't.
Mm.
And I'm the anomaly in that regard. And it's a painful thing, actually. It swipes your identity aside, which is why I would never correct it. And when they were at school, of course, it was really strong Cumbrian accent. Not so much now, but again, university and life has made the edges wear off. But they were, to fit in, of course, they just spoke in the local dialect. And I was always pleased to hear it. It's where they came from. Yeah. It's an interesting thing.
But it's interesting. I certainly grew up with people who had a telephone voice. And equally, I do notice, and I probably do it myself, people have quite a lot of poetry readers have a poetry voice.
Oh, yeah.
They've got a voice they read the poems in, which is not their own voice.
That's interesting. I hadn't thought of that. You speak in your own voice.
But certainly the phone voice. I phoned a neighbour one time and she always dropped into very English and very pronounced, clipped accent when she was speaking on the phone. And I spoke to her one day and I was taking a rise out of her and I was pretending that there was water in her gas and kidding her on about this and her fridge leaking because she had a gas fridge. And then I couldn't keep it going. I started laughing and I went, "Oh, come on, Nat, it's me." And suddenly she went from "Oh yeah, we buggered you." And it changed in the flick of a switch. Just bang. So I don't need to put on the posh voice anymore.
That's brilliant.
She's dead now, so I can't hurt her. Lovely lady, but it was quite strange.
That's funny. Do you have another poem for us, George?
I have something, yes, Phil. It doesn't surprise you, I don't think. In Duvet Down, and you're actually following on from your things about plays, this ends with a script, sort of. In Duvet Down, this madness of migraine, why do I rant against living when to die is to disappear for now? Or is it to be famous forever? Never to know success, never to hear another blackbird sing, watch a squabble of tits erupt from heads to fly zigzag. In my fears there must be sense in this. I smell soap in my hands, think holidays. Why is sunlight such a joy and such a curse? I flinch and hide my eyes from glare, senses stripped like burlesque dancers gyrate and tempt. The passions opened whirl across the floor, as my father says. Well, I do you an egg to go with the black pudding. I taste spices, although this morning I am lying here in childhood innocence. There are alleyways and places where and where not there. I must be free, perhaps. I must be caught, although the falling is my part. When I join the play, who writes the script?
That's lovely.
So, how did you come up with that one, George? Was there a prompt or?
Well, I had a migraine. I get them every so often. I get them quite frequently now, but never as bad. I mean, it used to be the lasted for a day or used to last for some hours and laid me really low, and I felt as though I'd been skinned alive. That all your senses, that everything smelt sharper, you saw colours differently, you could smell everything fantastically. And yet at the same time you were divorced from reality. The touch was so sensitive and yet I was numb and couldn't touch anything. It was a kind of strange mixed up thing, makes you realise how your brain is. And actually this was just a current experience where I was going in the time where I was, but also remembering a previous time when I was a child. Well, I was a teenager actually. I came downstairs and I was so bad, ended up lying in the kitchen floor in the fetal position. And my father came out of the kitchen and he just looks down and he says to me, "Well, do another egg to go with the black pudding." So it's partly flashing back forward, but it's that thing about the surreal aspect. And it's, I think, an old Scottish thing. If you can't solve something for someone, make them a cup of tea or cook them a breakfast. My father was very much into that. We'll just do you something practical. I can't solve it for you, so you can die if, as far as I'm concerned, but you'll die with a bacon roll in your hand.
Wow.
God, that's so evocative of grandparents and, and the way they think. And yeah, it's great. It's great. And migraine they are spectacularly hard, aren't they? Awful. I think I've had 2 in my...
Yeah, I've never really particularly had a sore head.
Mm.
Yeah, I've never
get...
had the real. It's not really like a pain in the head.
I don't get headaches. I get oral, not oral, oral and visual. But they don't affect me in terms of pain. But I have had a migraine twice in my life, and I remembered it. It was so horrendous, awful. It's not like a headache at all, is it? You're as sick as you're going to get, I think, with a migraine. Really bad. Yeah, horrible things.
But it's interesting because I sometimes think about it as it reminds you that you actually shut yourself. Well, for me, I shut myself off in the world. There are filters that have come down, and when I get a migraine, it's as though someone ripped all the filters off, and suddenly bright lights are really bright, and colours are fantastic. I mean, I've got all the aura. You get things a bit like paintings, a bit like surreal painters. You get the aura and you get things distorted and you can't see things properly. But equally, you suddenly see colour so brightly and you can smell. The thing about soap, I used to have this thing. I would suddenly smell soap, and it would remind me of something that happened when I was about 5. And just the smell of soap would suddenly just really light up a memory. But you couldn't concentrate on it because if you try to think about it, your brain sort of goes way a mile. Anyway, it's a mixed up thing. Just like my poetry, Phil.
Yeah, have you thought about being some kind of scientific study for some institute somewhere? It's fascinating. We'll get you over to the Piccolo Institute for Science of the Strange, and they'll examine you and figure out where all this comes from.
I think I might be at home there, Phil. Can I get a doctorate from it, Phil?
Oh, well, yeah. We'll yeah. My people will talk to your people. We'll sort something out. Yeah. Cool.
I quite like the idea of being M.A. Piss.
Yeah. If you say so, George. Yeah, I think that would be good. Yeah, there's probably a marketing, a merchandise thing we could figure out here as well. So, yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't think so.
I think so. I think it'd be good. We'll work on that. We'll work on that.
Advertise it across America, Phil.
Oh yeah, they'll buy loads of it. Making piss great again. Anyway, sorry, what was that?
It might have legs. Who knows?
College for Reinforced Artistic Prescience.
Yeah, well.
College for Reinforcing Artistic Prescience.
We'll work on that.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I got one more piece we can finish off with, and then that we'll call it a night. Yeah, my birthday. The weekend nearest my birthday is usually hijacked by the Eurovision Song Contest, and people are usually or people get really caught up in this silly song contest, except all the other countries in Europe take it really seriously, and there are other countries in it who aren't even in Europe, Israel and Australia. Anyway, Britain came last again, but with 1 point this year. So not nil. But I think I've cracked it. A few years ago, I came up with this song, and I don't know why they haven't asked me to do it, or someone could sing it. But this is my song for Europe. You've probably heard it before. You can join in on the chorus, and this is my song for Europe. And this would cheer everybody up. We'd sing this song and we'd win, and then everyone would be really thrilled. And then I can get on with having me cake and me, party and that. Hooray! So there we go. This is a song for Europe. How do we win Eurovision? Seems like forever it's been going wrong. Don't ask for laser-like precision, but just need to craft a good song. A catchy tune that doesn't disappoint, maybe sung by a familiar star, should be the way to avoid 0 points. Don't want to hear we scored 0 points. How do we win Eurovision? Seems like forever it's been going wrong. Don't ask for laser-like precision, but just need to craft a good song. Keep the words snappy, happy, and upbeat. Surely we can find a melody and tune. We'll snatch victory from certain defeat, and hear cheers all around the room. How do we win Eurovision? Seems like forever it's been going wrong. Don't ask for laser-like precision, but just need to craft a good song. Don't worry about the staging, don't worry about the dances. If our song's not engaging, I don't rate our chances. How do we win Eurovision? Seems like forever it's been going wrong. Don't ask for laser-like precision, but just need to craft a good song. How do we win Eurovision? Seems like forever it's been going wrong. Don't ask for laser-like precision, but just need to craft a good song. Last time, everybody. How do we win Eurovision? Seems like forever it's been going wrong. Don't ask for laser-like precision, but just need to craft a good song. Ooh, yeah. There we are.
Hey.
That would do it. Anyway.
Along, Phil.
I know the harmonies were glorious there, everybody.
Oh, they were so good. I wish you could have heard them.
Well, we can do it all again next time, next year at Eurovision time. Okay, thank you for joining us. Have a great summer. We'll pick SpeakEasy up again. Well, there's one more in person next week, and then we'll be doing it again in September. Although we will be at Unity Festival on 6th of June. And other bits and pieces across the summer as well. So there'll be things going on the Facebook, and keep an eye out for it. But yeah, thank you for coming along. Give yourselves a round of applause. I mean, it's only 3 of us, but it was very, very good quality stuff. Yes. Right.
Thanks, Phil. Thanks,
Thank
James.
you very much. Get home safely.
Bye.
Bye.